a different edition of the WWE Raw review for February 15th, 2021. Now, in this Monday Night Raw review, I will recap with ups and downs, and I will include Raw Talk. Raw Talk comes on right after Raw. Now, the show does start off with Drew McIntyre in a segment with The Miz. I'll give that about 3 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Then it goes into another segment with Matt Riddle and the Lucha House Party. I'll give that segment about 2.5 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Then it goes into a match with Matt Riddle and the Lucha House Party versus the Hurt Business. The Lucha Bros did win. The Lucha House Party did win. Thought the match could have been a little bit better. I wanted the Hurt Business to win. Not going to rate that match. Then it goes into a quick attack with Bobby Lashley. This is the best part of the show. And he attacks the Lucha House Party and Matt Riddle. After that, there is a segment with The Miz. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the segment. I thought the segment could have been a little bit better. There is more if you want to watch it in its entirety. You can watch it on the WWE YouTube channel or wherever you can watch it. Now, The Miz says he is the A-lister. He wants to give back to someone who is deserving, a young up-and-comer. I give this segment about 3.5 stars. There is a quick segment with Bad Bunny and Mandy Rose. I'm not going to rate that. This is the end of part 1. Look out for part 2. Part 2 of the WWE Raw review from February 15th, 2021. Then there's a segment with Damian Priest. He says he hangs with the biggest star on the planet. Bad Bunny is excited. Not going to rate that segment. I'll give it no rating. Then after that quick segment, Akira Tozawa wins the title from R-Truth. Bad Bunny then pins Tozawa and wins the title from Akira Tozawa. I'm not going to rate that match, that quick match. I'm not going to rate that, no rating. Then it goes into a segment with Adam Pearce and the New Day. And the New Day say, you might not know Kofi is a former WWE champ. Xavier says he has no idea. Adam has no knowledge. Why would you skip Kofi's name? Kofi is inserting himself. The Miz comes in. Kofi tells The Miz, keep on walking. Xavier says Morrison hasn't been WWE champ. Adam says, relax. The Miz has to face Kofi. If Kofi wins, he is in. Xavier says this can be Kofi Mania. Kofi says they've seen the Marine 4, 5, and 6. That's the end of that segment. I'll give that segment about 4 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Then it goes into another segment, but before that, they come back from commercial and they show previous Elimination Chamber matches. The Miz is in the match. Jeff Hardy is in the match. This is the end of part 2. Look out for part 3. This is all about pro wrestling with part 3 of the WWE Raw review for February 15th, 2021. Now, they do come back from commercial and they show previous Elimination Chamber matches. The Miz is in the match. Jeff Hardy is in the match. Dolph Ziggler is in the match. John Cena is in the match. Cesaro in the match. AJ Styles in the match. Braun Strowman in the match. Then after that, they showed last week with Charlotte Flair and Ric Flair what happened last week. After that, Lacey and Rick and Peyton Royce come out. Lacey says Charlotte is heartbroken. In honor of Valentine's Day, Candy says, bite me. Asuka will give Lacey the Raw Women's Championship. There was a little bit more for that segment. Just going to talk a little bit. If you would like to see that in its entirety, you can watch that on the WWE YouTube channel or wherever you can watch it. I'll give that segment about 3 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Then after that, it is Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans. Lacey is pregnant. At the end, she says there's no winner. Not going to rate that match. This is the end of part 3. Look out for part 4. Part 4 of the WWE Raw review. Then it gets into a really good segment with Sheamus. Just going to talk a little bit about the segment. He says, it is funny you asked about the odds. He asked 2 weeks ago for a championship match. The one-on-one will be 1-on-6. He will be the 6th person. They will be broken and bro kicked. Drew will be already eliminated. The Celtic Warrior Sheamus, the new WWE champion. I'll give that segment about 4.5 stars. It was a really good segment. Then it gets into a match with Kofi Kingston versus The Miz. Just going to talk a little bit about the match. This is the end of part 4. Look out for part 5. This is all about pro wrestling with part 5 of the WWE Raw review. The next thing that happens is there's a match with Kofi Kingston and The Miz. Just going to talk a little bit about the match. There is a kick from Kofi on Miz's chest. Irish whip from The Miz. Drop kick from Kofi. Kick from The Miz. Neck breaker on the rope from Miz. Roll up from Kofi. DDT from The Miz. Pin from The Miz. Left hands from The Miz. Kofi Kingston is thrown out the ring. Kofi gets hung off the barricade. The Miz is on the top. Double axe handle from The Miz. Pin from The Miz. Kick out. Submission hold from The Miz. Knees from The Miz. The left hand from The Miz. Right hand from Kofi. Kick from The Miz. Knee from Kofi. They both are down on the mat. Chops from Kofi. Clothesline from Kofi. Boom drop from Kofi. Roll up from The Miz. SOS from Kofi Kingston. The Miz kicks out. Pin from The Miz. Kofi kicks out. The Miz puts a submission hold on Kofi on the rope. Figure 4 leg lock from The Miz on Kofi Kingston. Kofi tries to go for the rope. Rope break. Roll up from Kofi Kingston. Trouble in Paradise. Kofi Kingston wins. Kofi makes it to the Elimination Chamber match. Give that match about 3.5 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. This is the end of part 5. Look out for part 6. This is all about pro wrestling with part 6 of the WWE Raw review. Then they show what happened last Monday with Lana and Nia Jax. Then it goes into a segment with Naomi and Lana. Thought the segment was okay. I thought it could have been a little bit better. They say Nia and Shayna try to be the best of all time. She went out there. This is what Lana says. She said she went out there and gave her all. Naomi is her lucky charm. Naomi says we will take it to them. Hello. Give that segment about 3 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Then after that, they come back from commercial and show previous matches. After that, there's a segment with Randy Orton. Just going to talk a little bit about the segment. He says the business between Drew McIntyre and him are unfinished. He will be the final entrant. He will do whatever it takes. He will walk to the edge of the earth. He solved the Fiend problem. The Fiend is no more. His sights are set on main eventing WrestleMania. He will not be in the ring with 5 people, 5 wrestlers. He will be in the ring with 5 victims. Give that segment about 3 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. This is the end of this part. Look out for the next part. Part 7 of the WWE Raw review. Then it goes into a segment with Alexa Bliss. She says, ashes to ashes. In the future, you will be reborn. I'm not going to rate that segment. I'll give that no rating. Then it goes into a match with Lana versus Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler does win. I'll give that about 3 stars. Then it goes into another segment with Adam Pearce, Braun Strowman. Hang on, Braun says. Shane says you call the shots. You remember the last time you made me mad. Adam says you're not WWE champion. You weren't the WWE champion. Braun says relay a message to Shane. He needs to make this right. It's not going to be pretty around here. Then it goes into a segment with AJ Styles. He says, Kofi Kingston, are you kidding me? He is trying to create Kofi Mania 2. He fought his way to the Elimination Chamber. This is the end of part 7. Look out for part 8. It's all about pro wrestling with part 8 of the WWE Raw review. Continuing the AJ Styles segment, He says, it is almost his destiny. He will destroy his hopes and dreams. He will not be champ again. He's talking about Kofi Kingston. He is in the ring with me. Be positive, Kingston. This is a warm-up. It makes him more phenomenal. He will give an example again. He will ride the momentum all the way to the championship. Joseph Parker punches the number. He can't lose. It's not just the fact. It is phenomenal. I give that segment about 3.5 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. After that, Kofi Kingston comes out. It's Kofi versus AJ Styles. It was a pretty good match. I'll give that match about 3 stars. AJ Styles does win the match. It is a gauntlet match. After that, it's AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. Gonna talk a little bit about the match. Belly to belly suplex from Drew McIntyre. AJ gets hung on the rope. Big boot from Drew McIntyre. Cover from McIntyre. This is the end of part 8. Look out for part 9. Continuing the match with Drew McIntyre. There are right hands from AJ Styles, elbow from Drew McIntyre, reverse Alabama slam from Drew, drop kick from AJ Styles, missile drop kick from AJ Styles, flying forearm from AJ Styles. Drew runs into the post on the outside, headlock from AJ Styles, chop and clothesline from Drew. Belly to belly suplex from Drew McIntyre, neck breaker from Drew. Drew shakes off the cobwebs. Reversal from AJ Styles, kick from AJ Styles, kick out from Drew McIntyre. AJ Styles holds his back. AJ Styles goes for the Styles Clash. Reversal chops from Drew McIntyre. Calf crusher from AJ Styles. Headbutt from Drew McIntyre. AJ Styles gets hung on the rope. Claymore from Drew. He wins. Thought that was a pretty good match. Give it about 3.5 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Then it goes into another match with Jeff Hardy and Drew McIntyre, continuing the gauntlet match. Rights from Jeff, whisper in the wind from Jeff, kick out from Drew, missile drop kick from Jeff, flying clothesline from Jeff, Hardy, pin from Hardy, kicks from Hardy, right hand from Hardy. This is the end of part 9. Look out for part 10. This is all about pro wrestling with part 10 of the WWE Raw review. Continuing the match with Jeff Hardy and Drew McIntyre, there's a knee from Drew. Belly to belly from Drew. Belly to belly from Drew. Neck breaker from Drew. He starts slapping himself. Missile drop kick from Jeff. Kick and DDT from Drew. Jeff kicks out. Pin from Drew. Jeff Hardy kicks out. Jeff head hits the turnbuckle. Jeff is on the top turnbuckle. Right hands from Drew McIntyre. Superplex from Drew McIntyre. Jeff kicks out. Twist of Fate from Jeff. Reversal from Drew. Claymore from Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre wins. I give that match about 3.5 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Then it goes into a match with Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. It was very quick. Randy goes to the barricade. Alexa Bliss shows up on all the monitors. He is counted out. He's outside the ring. So Drew wins the match. Then it goes into the final opponent for Drew McIntyre, which is Sheamus. It is Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Drew goes into the barricade. Right hands from Sheamus. Drew goes into the post. Stomp from Sheamus. Knee drop from Sheamus. Knee on Drew McIntyre's neck. Hard Irish whip from Sheamus. This is the end of part 10. Look out for part 11. Part 11 of the WWE Raw review. Then Drew kicks out. Submission hold from Sheamus. Right hand from Sheamus. Power slam from Sheamus. Drew kicks out. Kick from Sheamus. Chop from Drew. Headbutt from Drew. DDT from Drew. Right hand from Drew. Sheamus goes into the post twice. Knee from Sheamus. Belly to belly from Drew McIntyre. Spine buster from Drew McIntyre. Bro kick from Sheamus. Sheamus wins. At the end of the match, he goes up the ramp. He says Sheamus. Sheamus says he beat the WWE champion. He is the odds-on favorite. He will be the new WWE champion. This is the end of this part. Look out for the next part. This is all about pro wrestling with part 12 of the WWE Raw review. I will include Raw talk. R-Truth is on first. He says they want to take the title to SNL. Akira Tozawa was chasing him all night. Bad Bunny should have woke him up. Bunny got his baby. Bugs Bunny and Bad Bunny are the same. Charlie said people will know about it because it is on SNL. The Elimination Chamber is on Sunday. Drew McIntyre is R-Truth's boy. Some things got to give. R-Truth says, and he says, how long did Drew last in the Gauntlet? He goes with Drew, Bobby Lashley, and MVP come to join. MVP is in crushes. MVP feels spectacular. He says a couple weeks ago, Matt Riddle attacked him from behind. He's too hard for the game. He tweaked his knee. It is not about him, the almighty United States champion. There is not a man alive that can beat him in one-on-one combat. It is a triple threat match. This Sunday, Mr. Lee is recovering from injury from what Bobby Lashley did. MVP says her journalistic abilities come short. R-Truth gives confirmation. He will be there. Matt Riddle is smart. He shouldn't be there. He will be there. MVP, how many times has Matt Riddle faced Lashley and Lashley won? This is the end of part 12. Look out for part 13. WWE Raw review. This is Raw Talk. I will continue reviewing Raw Talk. Bobby Lashley does talk. He is a man of a few words. MVP says we are in the business of hurt. His prediction is pain. Bobby and R-Truth shake hands. Two more guests are coming up. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler come on the show. R-Truth throws both mics. Charlie says there is a bakery nearby. That's what Charlie says. Nia Jax thought you were a real journalist. That's what Nia Jax says. Nia wants real questions. Shayna wants to be a Northern Pike. Nia Jax walks off, throws something at R-Truth. Shayna Baszler leaves too. Sheamus joins, and he is the final guest. He does say he will be the final entrant of the WWE Elimination Chamber match. He just beat Drew McIntyre. He feels vindicated. He knows everything about him. He gave him a place to live and a place to stay. He told people for weeks. He took him under his wing. He gave him motivation, his guidance. You think that matters to him? Last 12 months, he has been the MVP in WWE. Match after match, promo after promo, he elevated people. He brings everyone up. He makes people fight in the ring. 20 years they know each other. They were supposed to have a one-on-one match. This is the end of this part. Look out for the next part. This is all about pro wrestling with part 14 of the WWE Raw review. This is Raw Talk. I will be continuing reviewing Raw Talk. Now, Sheamus does say the powers that be thinks he is not a draw. Four-time world champion. He will take the world championship. He will make Drew McIntyre come after him. He will school Drew McIntyre. He will bro kick Drew McIntyre's head off. He will show who is the dominant Celtic. He will get his hands on the title. It has been 5 years. He will be back at the top of the ladder. No more being second fiddle. When you became champion, did you think of me? You're a selfish man, he says. You forget where you came from. Did you think of me? Do you offer me a car ride? He says. You forget who helped you. My time is now. It was a really good segment. I'll give that 4.5 stars. I would check that out on the WWE Network. Now, I would say Raw was an okay show. I would give it 3 stars out of 5 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. It would be good for Bobby Lashley to have some more mic time. Raw Talk was good. I'll give it about 3.5 stars when MVP and Sheamus was interviewed. They were both good. As I said in previous videos, WWE SmackDown and WWE Raw should have a crowd. WWE NXT does have a crowd. I will be doing another WWE Raw review after Raw concludes. I will be doing a WWE SmackDown review. I will have some videos uploaded before WWE SmackDown airs. Look out for that. Have any questions, any ideas, any comments? Leave it in the comment section. Send an email. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you like the video, hit the notification bell. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for my subscribers. Thank you for those who are new coming in to listen. Thank you again. See you next time.